Any judge?
The next speaker is Mbangazita from the Inkatha Freedom Party. Up until 2 minutes after 11 o'clock, Honorable Mncwango.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning,
Good morning,
General
Honorable.
Kumal. General, as Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence, can you confirm unequivocally whether you had full operational authority to manage intelligence collection and deployment, or whether your authority was somehow subject to informal political influence?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As far as I'm concerned, as well as my activities and actions ever since I was opened, I have the full authority to direct the collection of intelligence within the environment without any influence.
Thank you. When intelligence products are disseminated to National Commissioner, the Minister, and the National Intelligence Committee, are these bodies actually receiving the same intelligence, or are different versions of intelligence shared to these different bodies? And I'm asking this because when General Sbiya was here, he actually gave us a lot of different, intelligence information from what you are actually telling us now. So that is why I'm asking whether you do share, the same product. Even the minister was telling us something different. Hence, he was actually very adamant in that the PKTT must be dissolved because it has actually outlived its usefulness.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Maybe attending to the first part of the question. Indeed, there will be a difference in terms of reports. The reports that we share with the intelligence coordinating structure is of a strategic in nature, and then when it comes to the ministry, in terms of our AOP, we are expected and we do submit the monthly intelligence reports that are talking to both the activities for the previous month as well as the preview of the activities then for the next month. That is at ministerial level. Now and again, if there is the intelligence report that needs to be shared with either the ministry or the national commissioner, it happens as soon as that intelligence report is ready for distribution. So the information will be the same if then the subject matter that is dealt with is also the same.
Well, thank you, Shoban. Have you ever been instructed formally or informally to withhold, delay, dilute, or even redirect intelligent reports from decision makers?
No, Honorable Chair, through you, I've never.
Thank you. You actually describe in paragraph 33, I think is the last sentence in paragraph 33. You describe, crime intelligence as a cornerstone of national security. Can you tell the committee whether any intelligence-led investigations were slowed, halted, or even discouraged because they implicated politically connected individuals?
During my time since my appointment, it has never happened up until one then can refer to the hectic period that I was explaining since yesterday, that there are lots of our investigations that were affected by since the 6th of December up until leading towards our arrest and our removal from the office. So the possibility can exist that those were meant to derail some of our investigations.
Well, General, in your assessment, the crime or has crime intelligence been weaponized in the past, either to protect certain individuals or to target others, or to settle old scores using crime intelligence?
Based on my previous experience in the environment, as I've indicated yesterday, I can confirm that those suspicions did exist, and it is something that one prioritized after the appointment. Hence, then the issue that I explained in details yesterday that talks to the alignment of the activities of the division to those of SAPS and nothing else.
Thank you, General. If I may actually quote one sentence in your paragraph 33, your evidence in chief, you say, unfortunately, this time the threats is so pronounced, it requires intervention in SAPS that has never been seen before. Can you clarify what makes this infiltration unprecedented in a democratic South Africa?
It flows, that Honorable Chair, thank you. It flows from my narrative yesterday of what we have experienced during this operation since this investigation started, to realize that what was known and within SAPS was for a sergeant, a constable, a warrant officer stopping a car on the road and requesting or demanding a jojo, and that was something that we thought we are battling with, but realizing the infiltration that we are experiencing now internally, that is at a very highest level of top management. And then that's what makes us to think that the interventions that needs to be implemented are the ones that have never been seen before.
When both the minister and Sbiya, actually General Sbiya, appeared before this committee, they both asserted that PKTT's term of office actually expired in 2022. So that their argument was that its operation after that was actually outside its mandate and therefore illegal. Any expenditure incurred by the activities of the PKTT was therefore illegal. Now, is the minister aware, or was the minister not aware of the extension of the term of the PKTT? I'm asking this question because SDK 9, paragraph 72, even of your evidence, there are signatures there, and General Spear's signature in that information note is there, where the extension of the term of PKTT actually is contained. But Spear came here and argued strongly that PKTT's term expired in 2022. But in terms of that information note, the extension actually, went up to 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Would it be that Spear came here and actually lied under oath?
Before I get to the Honorable Chair, through you, before I get to the last part of the question, I have to indicate that that is one of the reasons why we are convinced that all of the reasons that has been forwarded up to so far as the reasons for disbanding the task team are not true, and there is no honesty into that. Referring to the information note that the honorable member is quoting, common sense was supposed to be that if there is this directive, then myself as the Deputy National Commissioner, I supported the commitment of funds and the budget for this project up until end of March 2025 with my signature. Now, if then I have to spearhead the disbandment in January before the end of March 2025, what will that mean in terms of my activities around the Public Finance Management Act in terms of fruitless expenditure? The money is committed, and then I also then spearhead the disbandment. So the reason around the unlawful operations by the PKTT after 22 are unfounded. There are documents, including that information note and the approval that had even the Deputy National Commissioner's signature. So it cannot be true that the PKTT was operating unlawfully after 2022.
Well, thank you, General. When you actually discussed the modus operandi of the criminal cartels, you actually outlined a lot of things, how they actually get to infiltrate, the crime prevention structures. My question is, why do intelligence structures actually fail to detect and deal with that infiltration? I'm here talking about, for instance, Matlala. We were told here that everybody at head office in Pretoria knew Matlala because he was a frequent visitor of some of the high leadership of the police at head office. But why did intelligence actually fail to detect that Madlala is in fact a dubious character that should not be frequenting the corridors of our national crime prevention, structures?
Thank you, Chair. It's one of the areas of improvement that we have identified to be supposed to be a priority. If we look at the current structures, as well as the current capability and capacity, counterintelligence was one of those areas within the division that were not capacitated to fulfill roles like that. It is now during the reforms that we are then focusing on that, because we have identified it as a threat to the national security of the country, if then the criminal justice system can be infiltrated so easily.
Do you ever discuss in particular the contents that you shared with us around how criminal cartels actually infiltrate, the corridors of power with your colleagues at different levels? I'm here talking about your DivComs, all those other, top guys there. Just to share that information so that they are also aware when they conduct their own business, they should be aware, that there is that possibility of them being, infiltrated, especially when you're discussing the issue of the cultivation of relationship between cartels and the corridors of power.
The discussions has always been happening as and when then there are meetings, but one has realized that we need to influence that there are policies or standard operational procedures that are going to be cross-cutting all provinces as well as all divisions in terms of how to deal with then the external stakeholders. It does happen, especially with the visible policing side that is dealing with partnerships, that they will refer to us for a thorough profile of any stakeholder or partner that would like to partner with them in any project that is related then to the crime-related issues.
Well, upon assuming office, you identified the gross misuse of resources and intelligence methodologies. Are you prepared to share with us who actually benefited from this misuse and why was it allowed to persist for so long?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe for the reasons that I mentioned yesterday, without going into details into the intelligence methodologies, but one can confirm that the beneficiaries has always been senior officials within the division as well as some individuals, especially from the business sector, that will be benefiting then with those abuse of resources as well as intelligence methodologies. That was made possible by lack of legal framework that I attempted to unpack yesterday as to what made it easier than for wrong things or unlawful activities to continue as if they are lawful. It's because then there was no strong legal framework guiding the activities of the division.
You stated in your evidence, in chief, that you removed state vehicles from senior managers and reallocated them to operational units. Can you confirm whether this decision disrupted entrenched privilege within senior SEPs ranks and linked to your arrest as a reaction to what you actually did?
It's one of the decisions that made one to be not so popular because of the benefits that was coming then towards those seniors that were involved in that scheme. Because if you have not been spending on a vehicle installment and the running cost for your private vehicle, in fact, not even owning one for the past 15 to 20 years, and then all of a sudden then come the situation where that come to an end, and then you won't take it lightly. So indeed, that's why then there were those rebellions in the form of misinformation, in the form of campaigns for one to be removed from the division. I'll make one example. During the recent period when one was not in the office, there were about 3 senior officers that attempted to get the state vehicles back from the acting divisional commissioner, which is an indication that indeed the campaign of one to be removed is still ongoing. So any opportunity, no matter how small is it, like the period of 3 to 4 months, and then already there are attempts to go back to the old ways that one is trying to deal with.
So clearly, it seems you are experiencing some sort of a coordinated resistance from different, quarters within SEPs. When you are trying to actually reform, the institution in your own environment. So how much support do you get from the National Commissioner, for instance?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. One has to confirm that the current management is getting necessary support from the Office of the National Commissioner. Hence, then these reforms are proceeding in spite of the challenges that we are facing. Like one can look at the whole year that has been lost in terms of this turnaround strategy implementation. Since then, this chaos started from December last year up to most recent time.
Thank you, General. You refer to misinformation about informers being paid only 3,000 rand. Can you clarify how informer payments are actually determined, authorized, and audited? I mean, our people are not working out there, and some of them might benefit the country for actually being part of this arrangement here. How do you pay them? How much are they being paid? Are you at liberty to share that with us?
An informer can be paid as much as the informer can sell, the value of what the informer is selling. So it's not a predetermined, there is no predetermined price as to how much. It's always the principle of value for money, like we do with our own private budgets. We apply the same principle. So it won't be easy, because there is a checklist that each application has to go through as to the value of that information that was sold and we bought it.
Well, thanks, General. You then introduced tighter controls over informal rewards. Did that actually threaten established patronage, in your view, patronage networks within crime intelligence?
Indeed, one can also confirm. That's why it's listed as one of those decisions that were not supported by some in the senior management, indicating that those control measures were making it impossible then to misuse the state coffers or funds.
You also identified and dismissed ghost employees. I remember that one of the generals, I'm not sure whether it's General Mkwanas, I can't remember, who actually shared with us that one general who was running a private farm operation had an army of these employees working on his farm but being paid for by subs as either informers or whistleblowers or of some sort. Can you confirm how many individuals were removed and how long they had been on the payroll? And then what is going to happen? Because I heard you yesterday even saying that there were some who actually had even, received ranks within the subs, and yet they were ghost police, if I may call them that way. What is going to happen to the accumulated either pension or benefits of their illegal employment?
Thank you, Chair. It's a project that is currently still on because it talks to the identification. The first thing that one has to explain is there is no proper paper trail for that process by then. So even identification of those employees, it's not something that can happen overnight. It's something that we are busy with the roll calls that we are doing spontaneously, so as then we are able to identify those that are part of the group. But as soon as we do identify, and then we will then start the process of investigating, that will then lead to the dismissal thereof, and then the file then referred to our legal services and HR departments to start the process then of dealing with the expenditure or the benefits and the salaries that were unlawfully